Hi Ramaraju,
Hi,
how are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you. For my short visit from Bangalore. We met a long time back in Pune, so I must meet you and try to understand what you're doing, because you have been into architecture for 20 years. So how did you come into this?
See, I have to go back to my childhood. I came to this. My father was into construction.
Okay.
He was a passionate construction professional.
Mm-hmm.
He came up the hard way, learning by himself, and he had a team of people committedly working with him. And he had built many well-known institutions.
Oh.
So he's very well known for that. Hospitals, temples. Many temple-related buildings, factories, all that my father had built. So for me, when I was a kid, one of my favorite hobby was to go with my father to construction sites. Mostly in holidays, whenever I got time, it was fun to go to construction sites, go do some work with him.
Really?
If he's given a hammer and brakes at home, but at site you could do that. Some demolition, you could take a hammer and brake and things like that. So it was fun to go to construction sites, and I really enjoyed going with my father. And in one of those visits, I saw an architect Padmanabh, come to site, and everybody at the site was busy that day, and they were taking instructions from him how to go about it. They were listening to him very attentively, and he was also very quite stylishly dressed.
Wow.
He came
impressive.
Very impressive. He came in a green ambassador car, wearing a suit, very somebody very attractive. So I just and then after he went from the site, I asked my father, who is this person? Why everybody is listening to him? I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old, and my father told me he's an architect, and all the construction work at the site happens with his direction, and that fascinated me. And also, I came to know the architects are the ones who are innovative. Not only they solve logical problems, also it appeals to people's sensibilities. So that fascinated me, and then when I had to make a choice, career choice, I said I will study architecture, and that's how I came into it.
That's great. Wonderful story. Interesting. So Ramaraju, so how you're saying this industry changing? You have been in this for 20 plus years.
Yes. See, I completed my studies in 99, BArch, and then much later I did a MArch from Manipal University. I also studied business management from IIM Bangalore. So the industry in this 20-25 years has seen a sea change. So initially when we are studying and come out, the awareness about architecture was very little. Very few people were engaging architects. Only they are very conscious, they have traveled abroad, or they know how architecture can impact their spaces. Only they were engaging. But now everybody wants to engage in architecture. The general awareness among public has changed. And also in some terms of the trend, then mostly it was about glass boxes, air conditioned spaces, very swanky, glossy spaces was what was preferred in that industry. But now people are a lot more conscious. People are conscious of the environment, being sustainable. Buildings add a lot of energy, they consume a lot of energy. So making buildings sustainable is one of the important aspects. And also appealing to the local sensibilities, being grounded to nature, and all these things is what is happening now. Also the technology has changed. The way we build, the way we design, the way we draw has gone through a sea change. All these softwares help us in designing better. We can get to the proper calculation of how good the lighting will be in that building, natural lighting, natural ventilation. All this we can study through softwares. And also we can visualize better. Even a client can easily understand now, before even the building starts at the site, they can see how they can envisage how it will be inside, how it will be outside, all that. Otherwise, earlier a normal person who comes to get his building design, he he would have to imagine just looking at a 2D plan
Yeah.
in those times, like 25 years ago, probably AutoCAD drawings were there. But now you can see inside how the building will be.
Yes,
even
the technology is possible now.
without even a big being made.
Yeah, very true. So what are unique selling points? Like what you have some different from?
See, there are 5 things we believe in. So we have gone through lots of experiences in these years.
Yeah.
And we
Evolved over time.
yes, we have evolved the way we work, the way we design, all this has changed a lot. And there are 5 aspects we believe in. One, we believe whatever the spaces we design, whether it is to live, whether it is to work or to learn, all which should be close to nature, proximity to nature.
Okay.
That is having natural light, having natural ventilation, having greenery around. All this have a huge impact on the productivity of the people and also on the physiology and the psychology of people. It affects your health. It also affects your psychologically, how you feel. All this has a huge impact. So we believe whatever spaces we design should be close to nature. That is one. Second, taking inspiration from our traditional Indian architecture.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So see, we have a huge legacy of design approach in architecture. Thousands of years. Whether it is very well built temple buildings or very spartanly built houses, all of them appeal to the local climate, the local traditions, the lifestyle of the people, the work style of the people. It was all kept in mind. So we take inspiration from our traditional architecture wherever possible in various ways. Whether it is the quality of spaces, whether it is the aesthetic visible aspects of it, and the materiality that was being used, and most importantly the thinking behind the Indian traditional building, very deeply rooted into the what a human spirit is. So taking inspiration philosophically from Indian traditions is very close to our heart. That is the second part. And the third one is buildings has to be built robustly. They have to last long, minimum maintenance. So they have to be built well. That is the third part. And the other one is using dynamic geometry design. That's one of the current times. So you can build any shape you draw. It can be built. So we've seen very fascinating designs happening all over the world. So using geometry well is another thing we believe in. And the fifth one is creating an impressive experience based on what purpose it's built for. If it is a house, it should be warm and cozy and connecting people, bring people, celebrate. It should be conducive for that. And if it is a workspace, it should be well organized, it should be productive, it should be able to work well together in a workspace. If it is a retail or a space, of course that varies depending on its function,
functions and product,
aspiration of the provider, customers, who comes there, what economic situation, where it is being located. Based on that, you have to create a new experience. And the other most important specialization we have is with institutions, working with institutions. Institutions needs to be expressive and also their work. Institutions are built to last generations, several generations and deep-rooted thinking. So whether it's a learning or some thinking for social organizations, it should also reflect what they believe in. It creates an identity of that institutions reflected in the building. It should create an impressive experience. These are the things. And also if it is a place like a relaxing place like a restaurant or a pub, it should be exciting. That will be, it has to create excitement. So depending on the place, you should create an impressive experience.
Right. So there are youngsters these days who want to become architects. So what is your advice to them?
So what you study theoretically in a college, in an architecture college, is mostly limited to design. Some aspects you will get exposed to and you will get in a safe environment to design certain buildings. But to be a real architect in the real world, you have to learn a whole lot of things, both from working with an experienced person who you admire. You should work with some person for quite some time, complete some projects. Through that, you should learn how to manage projects. Firstly, understand people, why they are doing what they are doing, get the world of it, world of why they are doing these buildings, and then various aspects of managing a project, whether it's a HR, whether it's a risk, logistics, collaborating with so many people. So various aspects of project management. To learn that itself takes several years. Design takes many years, and then project management is another thing. And the other thing is the business management. Any organization you work with, not only your own organization, also you work with several organizations, right? When you design, whatever enterprises you design for, you must learn what is the value that the enterprise is bringing to end users and customers, and how it's being communicated, how the transactions happen, how it's being delivered, the value is being delivered, and how the finances impact. And whatever you design, see at the end of the day, whatever we get involved in, whether it is a residential space or a commercial space or institution, it involves huge expenditure. You know?
Yeah, it's on lifetime investment sometimes.
Lifetime.
But huge residential and all, people save money. It's a lifetime.
And it should be done prudently. So for that you must understand all this, and it takes time. And if an architect is well versed in all the aspects of business management, he can not only run his organization better, also he can impact whoever he works with.
Right.
See, that's one of our strengths. Mostly we understand our clients and we deliver value what they're looking for, which can serve them for long term. That's how we get projects. That's how we have been surviving.
Reference.
Mostly from
word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Mostly from repeat clients. We get mostly projects only when a client is happy.
With the
client refers to other person, and
very
so
much
we get work. So we have to learn. These are very important aspects of business management,
which is not taught in colleges.
Yeah, very rarely. So youngsters have to learn consciously. They have to put their effort. Also, they have to go deeper into what they believe in and go deeper into that. See, architecture is one field. You can take inspiration from so many aspects.
Yeah, so many aspects.
For me, philosophy was something which appealed to me when I was designing. You could take inspiration from philosophy. You could take inspiration from climate, vernacular architecture. You could take inspiration from technology. You could take inspiration from various arts. So there are so many things to be inspired from. Also sustainability, materiality could be another inspiration.
Yes.
So
many things around this.
So any youngster who wants to be, they should be open to learn for long years. It's not like you pass out, you start up as architect. So it takes decades to master it, and I consider myself still a novice because there are so many masters.
So you are a lifetime learner. You want to keep upskilling yourself.
Yes, that's a must actually. Because architects are the people, they have the knowledge, not only seekers, knowledge workers. You should have all the, we should always keep acquiring knowledge, because whoever the client comes, you should be able to advise to the rest of the ladies. For that you have to keep upgrading your knowledge, skills, especially the communication. See, there are three things. One is ideation, lots of coming up with ideas, how to address these things. And the second point is the communication, communicating that, whether verbally, whether through drawings, whether through others, various systems, communicating it. And the third point is the realizing things at the site, execution, ideation, communication, and execution. So each of them requires a lot of acquiring of knowledge, practicing, experience, learn from your experiences, keep iterating.
Know so much about your industry, and there's so many things going to it actually.
True, architecture is something which encompasses.
It's very useful to my viewers, and thank you, Ramaraju.
Sure.
It was wonderful talking to you, and thanks for giving your time.
Sure. Do like, subscribe, and watch.